Welcome to the last video in this series of videos on how to solve your health problem, the life after Lyme disease way. We are now at the base of the pyramid. The foundational principle is the most important part. This is where transformations occur. This is where miracles occur. It is almost impossible to make in a short video this concept, but what I want to do is I want to try to boil something down really quick into to give you kind of an example of where I see sticking points for people. So what I find is that one of the key differences of people who are able to transform and get well and people who are not is there's a certain belief level thing occurring. And I'm going to simplify that right now is to say that many people get stuck in illness because when you get through all of this stuff here, at their baseline level of belief, they believe their problem is from bad genes, bad germs, and bad luck, right? And so there is a disempowerment there happening. Why do some people get better, some people don't, blah, 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 and it boils down to it's genetic. Some people are genetically, they're better, and that's why they got better and somebody else didn't. So it was their genes, right? Okay, why do some people get better and some people not get better? Blah, 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 blah. Well, see, I got an infection. There was the germ, and it was a bad thing, and it did this thing to me. So essentially, we were a victim of an external thing that was bad, in this case, a germ, and so then I'm sick. Something bad happened, and I'm sick, right? Okay, why do some people get sick? Some people get better. Why do some people stay stuck being sick? Blah, 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 blah. And really, I'm unlucky. Things don't work out for me. Somebody else got better because they were lucky. It was random. You can't really tell. Some people get better, and that's good for them, lucky for them. And some people, they aren't as lucky. It didn't work out for them, right? Now, I know I might be pressing some buttons out there. My point is kind of to press buttons and is kind of not. It's to give you a understanding that in those three examples I just gave you of bad genes, bad germs, and bad luck, are those things useful for getting well? Are they useful for transforming health? I would suggest that they're not. So when I talk about these foundational principles and beliefs, I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm right, you're wrong, good, bad, black, white. That's not what I'm talking about. I like to use the term like useful or not useful. You might think of it as empowering or disempowering. You might think of as giving options or taking away options. Seeing possibility, removing possibility. Giving responsibility, it's empowering, but it's responsibility versus not my responsibility. So don't think of it in terms of right, wrong. Think of it in terms of useful or unuseful for the outcome. This, from a clinical standpoint and working with thousands and thousands of patients, this is the area, this is the baseline. That's why it's at the foundation, because the people who have a more useful, more true, more accurate, whatever you want to call it, foundation or belief system are going to have better outcomes. So if somebody's stuck thinking their problems are genetic and they can't change that, they think it's just because of the germ, but we can't control the germs, can't see the germs, they're always there. If they think they're inherently unlucky, those things don't lead them then to the actions that would then help them get a different outcome and the results that would actually help them restore their health and kind of meet their needs in life. So if we would take somebody's outcome and put it in rewind and look at why somebody gets an outcome, whether that's health, whether that's wealth, whether that's relationships, whatever it is, and we would rewind, it would go something like this. They get a certain outcome because they're doing certain things. And they're doing certain things because they think a certain way. If this is true, then I'm going to do this. Or if that's how things are, then I'm going to do this. And then if you go back from that of why they think a certain way, they consciously think or process a certain way because they believe certain things. Now, those beliefs are a mixture of conscious beliefs that are recognized and largely unconscious beliefs that are not recognized. And they may have varying levels of usefulness or truth in those beliefs. Is it possible that people believe things that aren't true? I would say it is. Is it possible that people believe things that aren't useful? Like all of us every day of our life believe things that aren't useful. So what we're getting at here is getting down to beliefs and values in a term, I would call this, there's a term heuristics, which basically means problem solvings or shortcuts to finding a solution to something. And what I find is that essentially people with a health challenge is a problem, and that problem needs to be solved. And that solution is going to go from the outcome back to the beliefs, and we're essentially going to have to solve that problem at the level of beliefs and ideas and possibilities for that person so that they can then do different things and get different results. The world is very complex, and when you add into the fact that a lot of the things that are driving our results we're not even consciously aware of, then we can start to see the challenge here. So what we want to do is we want to be able to provide a person with different ideas, shortcuts, or simplifications to the process of solving their health problems so they can get a different outcome. Things that are very complex, they're overwhelming, and we constantly have information bombarding us. This book, this protocol, this, that, food, this, drug, this, plant-based medicine, this, what to do, all these kind of things. And we have to eliminate certain things. And so in that process of elimination, we create a simplified model of what actually the problem is or what to do about it. And if we're looking at Lyme disease, complex problem, think chronic health challenge simplified to the level of a germ. You see, I got a bite from something and I got a bacteria, and that was it. It's a very simplified mental picture or problem solving shortcut to try to solve the problem. And the shortcut in that case is I have a chronic health problem, and there's all kinds of factors actually going into that, but I'm going to simplify that to say there was a germ, and then my problem solution to that is going to be to try to kill the germ. Now, is that actually true, or is that actually useful? Maybe, maybe not. What I would suggest is for people stuck in chronic health problems, they have some of these shortcuts or simplifications of their problem that are limiting or not useful, and so we need to find things that are more useful, more true, or give them different options and possibilities so they can get out of whatever that approach that they're in that leads them to the outcome that they're getting, which in this case is not meeting their needs. They're not returning their health. There are different facets of this, and in the Life After Lyme Disease on Demand, there's some baseline training that I think will be worth easily many fold of anything that you would pay for it. And I think the magic of one-on-one interaction with a practitioner. Practitioners are actually to help people to transform, kind of like a counselor dealing with somebody with with an emotional issue or a deep-seated self-image issue. When you start getting that thing actually solved, then you can see real life start and results change and transformation happen. And so the one-on-one process of working with people, we're able to do that for a person to help them see a different path, have more useful beliefs and paradigms so they can actually get a different outcome.